Yesterday, we shared with you how ambulance provider AMR believes its slow response times in Multnomah County are a crisis bordering on a catastrophe. AMR also provides EMS services in Washington County, Clark County, and Clackamas County. We've told you how issues with emergency response are widespread, thanks in part to a shortage of paramedics. But in the EMS ecosystem, there's one element that's often overlooked: fire crews. And one fire chief has had enough when it comes to picking up AMR's slack. That's tonight's big story. The role of fire departments during an emergency call is to get there quickly and stabilize the patient. It's AMR's job to transport. But when ambulances take far too long to get there, firefighters have had to make choices on whether or not they bring patients to the hospital. And that's a last resort. But there's been a growing expectation and reliance on fire crews to fill in the gaps, as AMR response times have fallen off around the greater Portland area. I talked with Jim Gearing, fire chief for the cities of Forest Grove and Cornelius. Starting tomorrow, he's drawing a line. His firefighters will no longer transport patients to compensate for AMR, only transporting when they believe it's necessary.
In actuality, AMR is struggling to provide staffing on a day-to-day basis, 7/24, on their ambulances. And there's a trickle-down effect that departments like ours are feeling.
Forest Grove and Cornelius Fire Chief Jim Gearing says he's had enough. His firefighters are transporting patients to hospitals just about daily, as AMR ambulance crews are either understaffed or unavailable. Fire department ambulances are supposed to just be used for quick response and initial treatment.
And when we take our staff and we take our units and place them on an ambulance and send our ambulance to do a transport to a hospital that's out of the city or out of the area, it diminishes our capability to respond to emergencies right here in our own city.
Starting December 1st, the Forest Grove and Cornelius fire departments will be calling their own shots. They're removing their ambulance transports from available status in the 911 system. Chief Gearing emailed AMR's Vice President of Operations, Randy Lauer, explaining his decision. The operational impacts of continuing to utilize our publicly funded fire department transport units to subsidize a private business has become unsustainable, he wrote. While this is less than ideal, we feel that we have no other choice. KGW asked Lauer about the frustration of fire departments.
They want to get out of the ambulance transport line of work. And that's one of our goals, too, is to get our staffing up in Washington County so that we can respond to all the calls and relieve the fire department of what they necessarily had to do with a transport role coming out of the pandemic.
AMR took over ambulance services in Washington County in August.
But we're on a very good trajectory in Washington County in terms of staffing, and response times are improving week by week. The incidence of level 0, where we have no ambulance to respond, are reducing dramatically. So Washington County is definitely on the right path.
Gearing does say the situation has improved slightly since AMR took charge, but fire crews still need AMR to meet its responsibilities.
And what that looks like is full staffing across the board, improved service, lower response times, and great service to the public.
When there's a critical, life-threatening emergency, Forest Grove and Cornelius crews may still use their ambulance for transport instead of just initial treatment, but Gearing said his crews will make that decision themselves, not because they have to routinely fill in the gaps.
Until we can see some really significant progress, we need to take some actions to ensure that we maintain the service and continuity right here in Forest Grove.
For smaller fire departments like Forest Grove, taking an ambulance on a transport can reduce the staff down from 4 firefighters to 2, which Gearing told me is just unacceptable. On that email to AMR, he copied all of the other fire departments in the region. I asked him if he could see others following his lead here. He says he believes other departments are going to make some changes. We'll see. What do you think about this? Is this a step you think fire departments should be taking, or keeping things the way that they are now? You know the drill. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail 503-226-5090.